Ready? I'd like to call to order the City of Natchitoches Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Comments are the full audio of planning and zoning meetings are available online at www.cityofnatchitochesla.gov. The next city council meeting is July the 11th, 2022. Applications of rezoning would be introduced at that time. There should be no voting, no discussion, but if someone shows up that wants to talk about it, because they can't be there on the 25th, the city council typically listens to them. I would suggest anybody that wants to be heard on that show up, and if someone's allowed to talk, I'm sure would allow you to speak as well. Final action on rezonings will be held the city council July 25th, 2022. That's when the voting will take place, and you'll have to attend it at that point in time. Appeals from any applications for a subdivision, lot lines, waivers, things that we're not rezoning, must be an appeal from someone who is aggrieved, must be filed in writing within 10 days of tonight's decision with the city clerk. It's required to be docketed within 45 days. There's no automatic docketing like there is for rezoning. We'd ask everyone, if they didn't sign in, to please sign in the back. We'd ask speakers to come up to the AMBO and identify themselves. Ask them to speak directly into the mic. Are we doing Zoom still or not?
We are not.
Okay. The next Planning Commission meeting is Tuesday, August the 2nd, 2022 at 5 p.m. right here. We'll have to get somebody to cover for me. Ms. Rock, I will not be here because I will be that's my 37th wedding anniversary, so I'll be out of town for that.
Okay.
So we'll find somebody to do that if you don't mind.
For the August 2nd meeting?
August 2nd meeting, yes, ma'am. The procedure will follow. The applicant or his designee will come up to address the application after we get a short summary from the director. Then we'll hear from persons in favor of the application. Then we will hear from persons opposed to the application. And then finally, we will have a short rebuttal for the applicant or his designee only of issues raised in the opposition. Then we'll move on to discussion by commission members. The only other comment I have is I'd like to introduce Mr. Walter Johnson as our new member of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I think he's taken Ms. Jamie Flanagan's place, and it's my understanding he's already been selected by the mayor and confirmed by the council. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Johnson, welcome to the soup.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments I missed?
Not at this time, sir.
Roman numeral 2, roll call, Ms. Oaks.
Isaac Lewis, Ricky McAllister, Ron Brown,
Here.
Bobby Claiborne,
Here.
Ethel Blake,
Here.
Charles Whitehead III,
Here.
Walter Johnson,
Here.
Anita DuBois.
All right, by my count, that is a quorum. Is that correct?
Yes.
Wait a second, Mr. Lewis, what about Mr.
Michael
Lewis?
Lewis,
Here.
I don't know. What'd you do to her? I don't know. So we have a quorum.
we do have a quorum.
Roman numeral 3, approval of the minutes of the May 3, 2022 meetings.
That'll be at next meeting.
Okay, we'll defer that to the next meeting. All right, Roman numeral 4, old business. The city council, subsection A, the city council approved the application by Kristen and Ronald Simpson to rezone the following lot on the east side of Jefferson, north by Jordan, east by Cane River, south by Pauline Johnson from R1 residential to R1 residential with special exception to operate short-term rentals bearing municipal address 403 Jefferson. Any other old business? Ms. Oaks, Ms. Rock?
No, sir.
All right. Roman numeral 5, subsection A, the application by the city of Natchitoches to subdivide the following 4.43 acres located in section 10, township 8 north, range 7 west, shown on a survey by Mr. Robert N. Davis, professional land surveyor, dated April 20, 2022, lying north of Louisiana Highway 478. The reason located is to be used for a water well to supplement the city's water supply bearing municipal, located on Louisiana Highway 478, exhibit number 1, councilperson district number 2. Ms. Rock, why don't you summarize that application for us?
Well, from my understanding, this has already taken place. They've already did the change, the subdivision. The city already has the property, but because of the subdivision itself to make it legal, so that we can get a Mylar, we're gonna bring this application before you guys, just to let you know what's happening.
And
So we
it-
can get
it-
signatures and get it submitted.
And it was my understanding the city had until either May 30 or June 30 to do this, or they'd lose a multi-million-dollar grant. So they're asking for forgiveness rather than permission. And I
Correct.
can't say I blame them when you got a 7-figure grant going.
That's right.
All right. Is there anyone else to address the application of the city in this housekeeping measure? Is there anyone opposing the application of the city? Discussion by commission members.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Lewis to approve. Second by Mr. Claiborne. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. I've already signed that plat. Mr. Murkison says if you just want to send it to the clerk's office upon the expiration of 10 days for recording, it'd save y'all the hassle of swapping it back and forth.
Gotcha.
He just requested that you send him a copy showing the map slide number.
Will do.
Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection B, the application by Shoepick Development to subdivide the following lot on the east side of Williams, 75-foot fronting by 371 feet 4 inches north by Corley and Thomas, east by Street, south by Lilly. The reason is to reapportion lot lines and to add to the property of Shoepick Development that includes a storage structure bearing municipal address 219 Williams Avenue, exhibit number 2 in the commissioner's packet, councilperson district number 2, summary by the director.
Well, apparently, Mr. Lomain is the owner of this property, and he's extending his property lines to actually purchase additional property. But he's starting with this shed first. I don't know if you can actually see this red shed from Kaiser. It's a big parking garage area. So he's just gonna add that to his property and actually expand for the whole end of that parcel of land.
Is this that back piece that, behind, of Scott Kendrick where they had
Yes.
that, they were trying to do something back there?
I don't know what they were trying to do, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. This is the back of that old Lamar Deering property, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Lamar kept, when I was a little boy, Lamar kept horses over there before they had all that. His daughter had a horse, and that was a big deal, right in the city. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of Shoepick Development?
There were supposed to been, yeah, Mr. Ferguson.
Mr. Lemoyne asked me to come in this place because he had COVID and he didn't really feel like he wanted to be exposed to COVID. So being he's a good friend, I figured I'd show up and try to answer any questions you have.
You heard the summary by the director. Is there anything you need to add to that, Mr. Ferguson?
No, that's correct. That was Lamar Deering's cabinet shop when we were young. So just flipping it and making it adjoined to the Chopeak property instead of the former Deering property. Because there's really no access to it except through the Williams Avenue driveway of the residential. By adding it to Chopeak, you'll get access to it.
All right, any questions for Mr. Ferguson from commission members? Anyone else to speak on the application of Shoepick Development? Anyone to speak in opposition to the application of Shoepick? Discussion by commission members. Does the commission have a pleasure?
Vote to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Claiborne,
Second.
second by
Blake.
well, Ms. Blake. I got to, by Ms. Blake. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right. Thank you, and of course, that'll be final in 11 days, Mr. Brad. So see that the folks at Shoepick come by and pick up the signed plat and record it, make sure she has a copy of it. Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection C, the application by First United Methodist Church of Natchitoches by Pastor Gary Willis, Mr. Kenny Kaufman to subdivide the following lots 13 in the north 30 feet of lot 14 of Block C of College Park subdivision, and lot being shown as tract 7 on a survey by Mr. Brandon Thornton, professional land surveyor, dated January 15, 2022, recorded at map slide 823 of the records of Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana. Reason for this application is to reapportion lot lines appears to affect 924 Harling Lane, Exhibit Number 3, Councilperson District Number 1, in your packets, summary of the application by Ms. Rock.
From my understanding, it's just what it says. It's just we're portioning lot lines, slightly revising boundary lines. I'm not sure what the purpose is, but I'm pretty sure their representative will be more than happy to explain.
Would the applicant or his designee come forward for this application by the First United Methodist Church?
Good evening, Chris Gillette on behalf of the applicant, the Methodist Church. Also, the adjacent landowner is represented by Mr. Jared Donahoe. Mr. Donahoe's here also. In summary, these are two houses that are located next to each other on Harling Lane. One of the houses was built a little bit over the edge of the boundary many years ago. When that was discovered recently, about a year ago or so, the two parties, being the Methodist Church and Mr. Wilkerson, discussed how to handle the situation, and they decided to redraw the boundary between the two properties so that Mr. Wilkerson's property will be entirely enclosed within his legal description, the new revised description, and the Methodist Church will retain the remainder. So it's really just a boundary agreement between two neighboring landowners.
And Mr. Gillette, the way I read it, it's actually, the structure's not over, it's a brick wall.
Correct, yeah.
You know, so the structure's still on the land, but they would like to own the wall that they've always considered their own.
That's correct, yeah. I said the structure, but that's right. It's just a brick wall that comes off the structure.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Gillette by commission members? All right. Hearing none, thank you, Mr. Gillette. Mr. Donahoe, would you like to say something for the adjoining landowner, or do you just adopt what Mr. Gillette said?
I'll take up a little of y'all's time. Everything Mr. Gillette said was correct, and we just asked for the council's or the commission's approval. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Donahoe. Any questions for Mr. Donahoe? Anyone else want to speak on behalf of the application of First United Methodist Church of Natchitoches? Hearing none, is there any opposition to First United Methodist Church application? Hearing none, discussion by commission members. Does the commission have a pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Lewis. Second by Mr. Johnson. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, Mr. Gillette, Mr. Donahoe, Mr. Kaufman, one of y'all needs to come get the plat in 11 days, record it with Mr. Stamey, and bring a copy to Ms. Rock showing the book page or the map slide, instrument number, date of filing for her records. All right, thank you all. Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection D, the application by Rachel and Tim Liddy to rezone the following. Lot with 96.4 feet, fronting on the east side of Williams Avenue, north by Himes, east by East 2nd Street, south by Stroud, from R1 residential to R1 residential with special exception to operate a short-term rental on premises bearing municipal address 315 Williams Avenue, exhibit number 4 in Commissioner's packet, councilperson district number 2. Summary of the application by the director.
So Ms. Rachel Liddy, they are wanting to use it as a short-term rental. Just to give you a feedback, a short-term rental is any rental from 1 day up to 30 days. That's what we're considered a short-term rental. And she's just wanting that R1 special exception zoning.
It's compliant with everything else?
It is compliance with everything
All
else.
right. Would Mr. or Miss Liddy or their designee come forward to address this application?
Hi, I'm Rachel Liddy. I'm the owner at 315 Williams Avenue.
You heard the description of your application by the director. Is there anything that you need to tell us different about that, or anything you want to tell us about it?
Not really. I mean, I think it says what we want to do, so.
Okay. Any questions for Ms. Liddy from the commission members?
That like a B&B?
Yes, sir.
But
That's a little bit
it's
different.
whole house B&B, right?
Whole house?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Yeah. Because technically a B&B, Michael, you can have like numerous different people in
Yeah,
bedrooms.
no,
but
no.
This is
Yeah,
gonna be
it
a
would be whole
one-shot
house.
deal,
Yeah.
yeah.
Family, yeah.
All right. Any other questions for Ms. Lilly? Anyone else to speak on behalf of the application of Liddy? Anyone opposing the application of Liddy? Discussion by commission members. Does commission have a pleasure? Move to approve by Claiborne. Second by Lewis. Brown. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Now, that is one of those ones I was talking about. It'll be introduced on July the 11th. They're not supposed to let anybody talk, but if somebody shows up and says, I've got to be on vacation in Orange Beach on the 25th, so I want to talk, I would show up just in case they let one of those people talk. I wouldn't talk unless they make an exception. On the 25th, they'll vote on it.
Okay,
They'll have full discussion and vote on it.
perfect.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you, Ms. Liddy. Roman numeral 5, new business subsection E, application by Roanoke Development LLC to subdivide the following 14.244 acres out of 23.95 acres being Track E in Section 16, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, as shown on a plat in Conveyance Book 491, page 91, less that portion of Track G that lies within Track E, and less 1.2 acres being a portion of the re-subdivision of Track F to Moore Oil Company. The reason is the development of the residential subdivision on Washington Street. Exhibit number 5, councilperson, District number 4. Give us a quick summary. Is this just some cleanup work on this? This is what we approved before.
Right, so what we did not do before was actually to subdivide the parent tract. So in this application, we're gonna actually subdivide the parent tract so that they can move forward with the actual subdivision creation.
All right. And so will we have to vote on again the actual lots and stuff, or is this just about splitting?
This is just
the top
splitting
half
it.
and the bottom half?
That's all.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Ms. Rock as a function of that? And looks like it's just really administrative, is that correct?
Pretty much, yes.
All right. I see Mr. Strange has made it over here from Mississippi. Mr. Strange, would you come forward? You represent Roanoke Development in this matter, is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you heard the comments by the director about your application?
I did, and that was
And
correct.
do you have anything you need to add?
I do not.
All right. Questions for Mr. Strange from commissioners? Anyone here to speak on behalf of the application of Roanoke? Anyone in opposition to the application of Roanoke? Discussion by commission members. All right, what's the commission's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Lewis,
Second.
second by Blake. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Mr. Strange, that'll be final in 11 days. It'll need to be signed off on. My suggestion, do you have a Mylar here today?
Yes, sir.
My suggestion would be leave it, sign it, and leave it with her, unless you just like driving back over here from Mississippi. No problem. Roman numeral 5, new business, subsection F, the application by Mr. Reginald Smith to rezone the following Lot 10 of Peoples subdivision, less the west 111.3 feet, as shown on the plat and conveyance book 419, folio 358 of the records of Natchitoches Parish, Louisiana, from B3 commercial to B3 commercial with additional BA zoning, reason for alcohol consumption on the premises, bearing municipal address of 1230 Washington Street, exhibit number 6 in Commissioner's packet, councilperson district number 4. Summary of the application by the director.
So this is the restaurant called Crabs in the Bucket located on Washington Street. And they just wanted to add another item for the consumption of alcohol on
Now,
premises.
is this within our local historic district, or will this just be for beer only on the premises?
I think it's just for beer only.
Okay. All right. Is there anyone here on behalf of Mr. Smith?
No, we have not heard from them yet or
Okay.
anything, so I recommend that we table this until next time.
All right. Do I have a motion to table?
So moved.
Motion by Brown,
Second.
second by Blake. All in favor of tabling this to next time? say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Now, for anybody that's listening here or listens to it on the archive tape or archive digital, tabling it means that we can bring it back up next time by majority vote, or we can put it back on there without further notice. So my suggestion to anybody that's listening that wants to have an input one way or the other, that they just check with Ms. Rock. We don't normally like to table things indefinitely unless we're working on something. Typically, we put them on the next month, but we're not required to. All right. Roman numeral 6, report of office activities.
Well, the only thing that I have that I would like to report is that the Planning and Zoning Department has started a new project for code enforcement. We already do property maintenance as a whole anyway, but we're trying to come up with a new way of trying to enforce our property maintenance standards. So with that being in place, there is a commission that has to be formed for this particular thing. What I wanted to ask from you all, if we added this additional duty, would this be a place that we can present these cases to and have you guys to preside over, and then those things that need to go further will then go to city council? It's just something that we're putting out there. I can get you more information as time goes by, but I thought since we already meet here anyway, and you already hear a lot of the applications that we present, why not have this particular item?
And I guess the only real question most of the folks around here would want to know is what kind of additional time it's going to take. You know?
It shouldn't take much. I mean, we sent out a lot of the notices for property maintenance anyway. The only thing that we'll ask you to do is when we send out a letter to someone that's in violations of our ordinance, they'll come before us and say yea or nay for why they haven't complied. Then if there's a fine or fee that needs to be implemented, we'll then send them to city council and then let city council say, yes, that fee will be applied, or no, it won't be.
And so all we do is determine if there's a violation and then kick it up to the next level if there is a violation and a fine or fee has to be, we just say, yes, it's a violation, or no, it's not a violation.
Or just give them a chance to come and say, well, we'll do this at a certain amount of time. And then if they don't comply, that's when it's going to be kicked up.
I guess my point is nobody here will be passing sentence. We'll just say whether they,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's, because I
We're
know
just-
how it doesn't bother me, but I mean, it would bother some people that don't do this type of work that I've done for 40 years.
Right. We're just trying to come up with another way to let people, our residents, understand that we want to see Natchitoches clean. We want to see it the way it's supposed to look.
Well, it's sort of like I tell the tenants at my rent property, my goal is to collect absolutely $0 in late fees. I want no late fees ever. That means everybody's paying on time. And it's the same thing with this. I mean, if we can have, if somebody starts setting their foot off the right track, if we can nudge them back on there before they start getting these really ugly letters and the city council getting up, I think it's a good thing. Now, there'd probably be some feelings hurt.
We would need to pass a motion for that.
Yeah, we were just talking about it right now. She's
Right
gonna
now,
get us some more information on that. I think with those kind of things, I think we'd be willing to hear it again, maybe a couple more meetings before we'd be willing to say yes. But
Right.
you start fleshing it out for us and feeding it out to us. And
I would
think we'd
definitely
be
get you some
happy to listen to
information
it.
to see how, like Shreveport and Illick and how these other places that have code enforcement, how their commission performs, how they work.
That'd be
I think
great.
it'd be a good idea that we take on that responsibility. The only question I would have is, how much busier would be, would this be something that would have like several, applications, per meeting, or any idea?
I don't think our workload would increase that much. It would only be those who are just being defiant and ignoring the notices that we've sent out. Most of the notices that we sent out are for people that don't live here, have no real meaning for anything. The property is either.
Absentee landlords?
Yes, pretty much. But we do have some residents that lived here who are just defiant. They do not understand what it means to have a clean yard. And their eyesight and my eyesight, my condition of being clean might not be what you guys think will be clean. So just to make sure that we're all on the same page, I'll give them a chance to say, well, this is my idea of why my grass is 10 feet tall.
Are the regulations by the city pretty well, specified, spelled out?
They are, especially when it comes to the fines and why we do fines and what we classified as property maintenance or cleanliness, or lot cleanliness standards. That's all in our ordinance.
And we'll get copies of those specifications.
I will get you whatever you need.
Give us a 30-second on your rolling out your online permitting.
So we do have our permitting system that's now workable online. We will still have some hiccups, but now in order to do a permit, you do not physically have to come into the office to do any type of permit. You actually go on the City of Natchitoches website to our planning and zoning link, and you can submit an application, whether it be for a brand-new residential construction or just a garage or maybe a new restaurant. Everything you need to do is right there online.
And pay by card.
You can pay by card, print out your receipt, and even go in, set up your inspections, do your inspection request, and then see whatever comments the inspector may have for you.
All right. Before we go to the last thing, Ms. Davis, Mr. Smoke, we got y'all tended to. Y'all the only people that haven't talked that are not here, just regular folks. Y'all are good? All right. All right, we move to the last item. Reverend Claiborne,
Make a motion to adjourn.
do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? We stand adjourned. Thanks.